Welcome to Beyond Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Petralis, and we are super excited for today's guest. I've been trying to get him on here for a little bit. Stud athlete, three-sport athlete, three-captain athlete at Wilmington High School, and had an impressive junior year going into a senior. And we're going to talk about golf, where he's captain in the fall, but he's also a hoops player. He's also a baseball player. And we're over episode 200. We're actually taping our 200. We're going in the DeLorean and going back in time next Saturday, and we're going to tape episode 200 live in the studio. So check out our social media for that, so you guys can get the full details. Live audience should be a lot of fun. But off of that, onto our guy here. I mentioned three-sport athlete, three-captain athlete at Wilmington High School. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Roman Synott. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're excited, man. As I said, we kind of talked about this. You're a good athlete, real good athlete. I know your basketball coach particularly well, but I also you stand out in golf and stand out in baseball. So we'll touch upon all three. Before we get rocking and rolling today, what type of music guy are you? Like when you're in the sports, certain artists, certain genre type music. What type of music guy are you?
Uh, I'm not a big music guy. I really don't listen to music, and if I do, it's just whatever I see.
So how do you get yourself a little juiced up before a game then?
I don't know. I mean, it just happens.
I like it. So you're just able to lock in and out when you need to. That's
Yeah.
great. I mean, I've never actually heard that answer to the question. I ask this question all the time because I never get the same answer twice. And there you go, is a perfect example right there. So that's great. You're able to lock in and out. And, we'll talk about your basketball coach. He quoted some things that he told me about you and seems kind of fit your mentality. But let's talk about golf first. Captain of the golf team. I've never had someone on here who's a golfer. Um, Talk about the mentality of golf because I'm sure when you're in school for a big game for basketball, you're in school for a big game for baseball. That mentality is probably a little different versus when you go out in the golf course, just kind of going against an opponent and the type of matchup that it is. So, talk about your golf game a little bit, the Wilmington Golf Squad, and being a captain, what that means to you, man.
Yeah, so this year we got lucky. The big senior class for golf, and I mean we're doing great right now. We are 6-3. We just made it to the state tournament for the first time since 2017. So I mean it's awesome. In school, like before the match, like no one's really too focused. We're just trying to go out there and have fun and just let the game come to us. As a captain, I mean, there's not much to it for golf other than like making sure everyone just like stays focused and doesn't like get down on themselves while they're playing, like going in and like checking on people as they're playing. It's like sometimes one of my buddies might be a few clubs thrown or something, so you got to go up to him and keep him in check so he can move on to the next hole.
Club throwing is pretty common in high school golf.
It's not. I mean, for my buddy, yeah, but not in general, no.
Find golf clubs randomly in the woods, broken and bent in half or anything like that.
Yeah, sometimes.
I mean, talk about that 6-3. I mean, since 2017 is the first time you guys have made the state tournament. I mean, that's got to feel good because I think when you're ever the leader of something, you kind of take a little pride in that you're like the leader in the sense of on the course, but also off the course. I mean, what did that mean to you guys when you qualified for states?
Yeah, it's been our goal all season. So it feels great because when I first started playing my sophomore year and we got our first win for like we were on like a 4 year no win streak. So we got our first win that year. And then last year, my junior year, I forget, we got one or maybe two wins. And then this year, like everything just came together and we got wins.
Now, golf, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty unfamiliar with it. Golf club wise, are you kind of like have what you have, or are you like kind of getting the best of what's out there and paying attention to the type of clubs that can maybe better your game a little bit?
Um, I mean, I have some pretty nice clubs. It's just like preference, but I mean, there's no reason. It's just what I like, and I just want to go what I want.
Do clubs make a big difference to you?
Yeah, just like shaft wise and newer technology, it makes a difference.
Okay, okay. What's the strongest part of your game, would you say? You're like a driver, more of a putter, mid-game person?
It depends. Really every day it's different. I mean, I like semi chipping, but I don't know. It depends. Sometimes putting.
Okay. And you guys have a pretty heavy senior class. So how does that work like off season and stuff like that? You guys getting together and like golfing together a lot or not really? You just kind of show up
No,
and do your thing?
yeah, we just showed up on the first day, and then I mean, I went out with one of my teammates and played one round before tryouts, but nothing
Yeah.
special.
Okay. And then as far as playoffs go, so how does that work? You're 6-3 now. How many matchups do you still have left? And then how does playoffs look? Is it like a head-to-head type thing, or is it like how does that work?
So we got three matches left this week. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we have states on the 14th or the 15th. So we go down to the course and we miss school, and then we play 18 against all like there's like six other schools or something,
Yeah.
and then two teams qualify to sectionals or like the real like the big states, and then one team wins that. But like uh you win states if you make it through the first round, and then you win like a bigger trophy or something if you win the second round.
And is that all about matchups? Like there's a certain amount of matchups that day, and then kind of whoever wins the most match. Is that how it works?
No, it's just
Okay.
it's stroke play. So you just
Okay.
go out there and play, and then there's six people. Like you bring six people from your team because we qualify as a team this year. So
Mhm.
six people from your team go, and then only four scores count. So the four best scores out of your six count towards like the towards the total.
What's the best score you've ever had?
Nothing special. I don't play 18 a lot, so
Okay.
nothing great.
I mean, I've never played golf before, so I don't even know if I'm asking you like legit golf questions here or not, but I just know the basics, so I'm kind of asking that. I just
Yeah.
find that so impressive because, I mean, once upon a time when I was in school, I don't mean to sound like that, but we never had a golf team. Like that wasn't even like a real thing. So, to kind of following you guys on social media, I think your AD does a great job of kind of really posting a lot of different things. And I've seen the golf team pop up the last few years, anyways, on social media for wins and things like that. So it's great that you're a part of that, a leader for that. That's great. Um, while you're doing that, I know obviously you're a basketball player, so winter season ends. You know, I know you're a baseball player in the spring, but really summer and fall, you're playing a lot of basketball. I know the team last year had a tremendous turnaround, and obviously players and have a lot to do with that in the effort. I know you had a coaching change, Coach Faraday, who I think is that's amazing. But talk about that, I guess, in the sense that, you know, here you are playing your high school sport in golf, but you're also really preparing for your next season in the winter for baseball. How do you, I mean, not basketball. How do you kind of balance the two of that, both of those a little bit?
It's tough because you never want to miss golf because that's the season you're in, and you don't want to miss basketball either because now I'm a captain. But yeah, it's hard mentally and especially physically because Sundays we don't get a day, or weekends we don't get a day off. So I have golf Monday through Thursday, and then I have basketball Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we get it on Wednesdays too. So I mean, it's hard, but we just have to make it work.
For you too, I mean, obviously, as you kind of go through, I was a three-sport athlete when I played in school, so obviously, balance in the athletics and the academics can be difficult. I mean, talk about that for you the last few years, because obviously, if you've grown in age, your role and what the expectation is for you obviously grows as well. Talk about balancing all that schedule, athletics that we just talked about, but also academics as well, Wilmington High School.
My academics aren't bad. I am lucky enough to get it done in school for the most part. I've had good grades for a while. Freshman year, I struggled a little bit, but after that, I've had good grades. So that's not really a problem with sports. But yeah,
What's your favorite subject?
I mean, I'm probably best at math.
Everyone says math. I mean, I'm a fifth
Yeah,
grade teacher, dude. Like teaching math is legit my favorite subject to teach because there's nothing like seeing a kid who can't do something mathematically and then seeing them be able to do it like consistently and without help. And I mean, I think math's always kind of the answer for a lot of athletes that we've had
yeah.
on here, anyways. Um, so let's jump into hoop season. Obviously, you got a lot ahead of you in golf. You got your three matchups this week, playoffs. You know, and that season maybe ends at the end of October, right around Halloween. And then that mentality starts really coming in for basketball. I mentioned the turnaround from last year. I mean, at first, I'll just kind of ask you about, you know, you went into last season Wilmington basketball hasn't had a lot of success over the last few years, over the past years. And I think if I remember right, you guys started like 1-4 last year, and then you kind of went on a run.
Mhm.
And you won a lot of games. I mean, I'm going to talk about first about Coach Faraday because I live in Wilmington. When I saw that he was hired, I was like, wow, what a great hire. He's going to turn this program around. He turned it around really quickly. But a lot of that also has to do with you guys. But let's talk about Coach Faraday first, maybe the mentality he brought, the different approach he brought. And you guys obviously bought into it because you just all of a sudden just took off.
Yeah, when he was coming into the program, we were all meeting him, and we just thought like we didn't think anything. Just thought he was like another coach. We realized really fast, first day of tryouts, that or even a little bit before that, that he's not like every other coach. He was
Yeah.
very, very hard on us, which is something that just our team wasn't used to because none of the coaches that we've had in the past have been like right on us because no one has wanted it more than he has. But it's great. It's tough, especially when if you don't come to tryouts prepared, like none of us did. None of us were conditioned. We had trash barrels lining the gym, but yeah, it's tough. But once you make it through that, it's great.
So what clicked then? Am I right? Were you guys like 1-4 to start the
Yeah,
season? One and five. So what all of a sudden just kind of clicked because I think you guys won like 9 or 10 games in a row after that, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken. So something obviously just started working or started just feeling right. What do you test that to? What clicked?
I honestly don't know. I mean, it was we got like a week or two of no games because we had New Year's and stuff. So it was just practice every day. And we got like blown out the first game of the season, blown out the second game of the season. We just got blown out like four times in a row. So then we get after New Year's and we have a big game against Watertown and we finally get Faraday's first win and our first win as a team. And then after that, it was like one of my friends texted on New Year's, like, this is an energy shift. And then we won that game and we went on a big streak after that. So, I mean, yeah,
And Watertown's, I mean, no joke. I mean, Watertown traditionally is a pretty
yeah,
very good basketball program.
they were good this year. They had their 6'10" kid.
Yeah.
Um, he's a big guy. He's a good player.
So I'm gonna share with you a little bit what Coach Faraday said. I was letting him know that you were coming on the podcast and if he had anything to say. I'm just gonna share some words that he mentioned about you, and then we can kind of jump into that. He says, honestly, our coaching staff absolutely loves Roman. He plays extremely hard all the time. He's a great leader and extremely coachable. Roman's really a coach's player. He does everything you ask. Very, very tough kid. He did say very twice. Strong work ethic. He has really got really strong this summer. Um, he mentioned a game last year in which stood out to him was that you kind of had like a game-ending block at the rim or block to the backboard of the defender as a defender, and he said that that was like a huge like energy boost for that team and a huge win for you guys. Talk about that. That's kind of really cool. Set it up.
I don't really remember that. Did he say which game it was?
He said, I'll tell you, it says game-winning flex denial last year. Major play that sticks out. He said you knew the scouting report really well.
Uh, I don't remember it exactly, but I don't know. I don't know. Just going off the scouting report, we always know what's going to happen. So, yeah, I've gotten stops like that. Oh, no, I do remember now.
Here we go. Let's go. Here we
Yeah,
go.
I think it was against Stoneham, or something. But yeah, I knew the scouting report. Knew it was going to happen, and I just saw the ball. I had to get something on it, and I dove. I got the ball out of bounds. Um, yeah, just being able to like come into the game so prepared, knowing what's going to happen is huge. And Faraday and our whole coaching staff does that for us very well.
Is that something you've learned like that past season, the importance of film study and scouting? And was that something you had before? Or was that something that last year you just kind of really learned?
That was my first year on varsity, so
Okay.
I didn't know what the other coaches did. Our other two captains do, but yeah, that was my first time doing film and all that stuff.
And what's the biggest thing you learned from watching film?
It makes a huge difference, like being able to know their plays and like even knowing the names of their plays, so you know exactly what to do which guys, what they like to do. Like our film gets very in depth, so it's good for us.
Do coaches watch minutes? Like who's watching how many minutes?
What do you mean? Like how much people?
Do you guys do it on Huddle? Like, is you use Huddle as like an app, or you have some sort of app? So, like a lot of times, like I was a coach, and I send stuff out, and then I could see which players and how many minutes they were actually watched. Like, coach, I watched like 30 minutes of film, and then I go on there and see like 4 minutes, and I'm like, really, 30 minutes of film? Maybe you didn't even know that aspect of Huddle, but yeah, film study is important. When I saw that, that was a big thing that I wrote down in my notes here because preparation's everything. You see a certain set, or you just see a team line up in something, or you see that they traditionally have like a certain inbound play in a certain part of the court. In football, I mean, it's the same thing, kind of formations and stuff like that, but it does make a huge difference in knowing kind of to anticipate what's going on a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Let me just look here a second. So obviously you guys had your first playoff game and talk about that last year. Kind of here you go, turn around, you qualify for states, you have a playoff game, not the way that you wanted it to end per se, but you got a taste of it. And I think that's really important for any team that's hungry and coming back with, a lot of the same players, a lot of key players the next year. Talk about that playoff experience and maybe how that season ended and mentality wise, what stuck with you a little bit.
Um, just like staying strong throughout the end of the season, especially because I like me personally, I started to like burn out in the end just because of like how physically demanding it was, and I just wasn't used to that from past basketball seasons. But yeah, our not losing that game by 20, that's not something we thought we had in our cards. No one thought we were losing that game, but yeah, it's good to get the experience in there because it'll be good for this year for us.
Does that stick with you? Like when you guys come into the locker room in the next month and a half, is that going to stick with you a little bit, that last loss, or is that something that's gone last
Yeah,
season? We're moving on.
I mean, we moved on from it, but obviously it's going to be there. One that kind of sticks with me is Winchester, because that's we lost them by like 40, 45 first game of the season, and now we have them this year in our gym. So hopefully we can get that one.
What would you say? I mean, obviously, coach kind of mentioned you're an extremely coachable player, and that's those words as a coach are like when you hear that, you kind of know exactly the type of athlete you're dealing with. I mentioned this question to you in golf, but I'll ask you the same thing in basketball. Where do you consider your strength in your game? Are you more of like an offensive player, defensive player, or do you kind of find yourself just, you do what you need to do when you're needed to do it?
Defense, definitely defense.
Let's go.
I can score here and there, like set a 3 point line, shoot, whatever. I can get to the rack score, but defense is definitely my strong suit. Um, yeah, I I'm kind of just everywhere on the defensive end, nowhere to be, and just hustle.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
really
one thing you mentioned. You kind of do all the little things right, and I think all those little things add up in certain points of a game. That's the difference between winning and losing. Are you like, do you take on a lot of like number one matchups, meaning take on team's best players? You guys play man a lot. Are you more of a zone team or?
we're all men, and every game I got their best player. This year it's going to be a little different because now I'm the big man or have to guard the big man, so I'm going to be guarding the big man most games. Or if I can get the best player, I'll still be getting the best player.
I mean, talk about that mentality because going into every game last year, when you know you're kind of guarding the best of the best or the best player they got to offer, I mean, for you, that's got to be a mentality. You said music is not necessarily a motivator for you. So you come in, you're ready to go, you're like locked in. I mean, are you a quiet type player who's gritty? Do you talk a little trash raw when you cover number one? So you just kind
No,
of do what you're supposed to do?
I just do what I have to do. Yeah, I don't talk.
Okay, great. It's awesome. I'm a big defensive guy. I was defensive coordinator, so especially where I coach, we used to recruit kids in a lot. So, everyone always sees the offensive stuff, but I used to kind of make an onus of having film and making videos to show how good we were defensively and things that we could do too. So I love hearing that side of it because offense is always sexy in every sport, but when it comes to, defense, nobody talks about it as much. So that's kind of cool to hear. I mean, this year's squad, obviously, you guys got four captains. You're returning a lot of experience and a lot of playing experience. I think that's really important to mention because a lot of guys got a lot of minutes, a lot of quality minutes, a lot of important minutes, a lot of experience. How do you guys feel going into this season a little bit as far as how the squad plays out and looks?
Um, we feel good. Yeah, us four captains played every minute of every game, or almost every, obviously not every minute, but almost every minute of every game. Um, we did lose one of our other starters, which is tough, and we need someone to replace him, obviously. So we don't know who that's going to be yet. But I'm not too worried. I think we have enough. We don't. Yeah, I don't think we have. I think we have enough people to be able to cover that position. So I think we're gonna. I think we should be rolling this season.
How's the crowd at there? Because I actually got into the gym for the first time this summer. AD kind of gave me a tour of the school a little bit, and Coach Faraday actually had his camp going. I think it was like day one or maybe day two of his camp. But I love like kind of the top. I went to LaSalle College, and they kind of had the same thing, that wraparound top that people can stand in. Obviously, on court. I mean, is that place rocking on like a home night big game?
It wasn't in the beginning of the season because no one, because Wilmington's always been like not winning, whatever. But this year when we turned it around, the student section started getting packed, the stands started getting packed, like the behind our benches started getting packed, which there would never be people that sit back there. So it's definitely fun. I don't really notice the crowd when I play. Most of us don't, but when you see it in pictures, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, your guys' social media presence seems like you have a lot of young student at or just students that shoot pictures or take video. And obviously, Wilmington Public Access comes in and does a tremendous job in covering you. Is it fun to kind of see that? I mean, do you pay attention to that stuff on social media? Are you watching reruns or replays of it on Wilmington Public Access? I mean, talk about that as a young athlete. I mean, it's kind of what we do, right? But like hearing it from your perspective, how cool is that?
Yeah, it's cool. Going home from the game and seeing all the pictures that kids in our grade or grades below us take during the game. It's yeah, it's just more memories like that you get to keep.
Do you have like a certain photo or video of you that you just like love that you're like, this is the best thing ever?
Uh, I have like these two photos where I'm like in the air with my hand up at the rim and like jumping around a kid. Those are probably my two best photos, but I don't have many.
Now, obviously, success. I mean, you're a great golfer, a great basketball player. We'll talk about baseball in a little bit. And I mentioned to you at the top, or even maybe before we click like record, I forget. I mean, college basketball wise, is that something you're kind of interested in the process? Are you following that all, or are you kind of just kind of seeing where the season takes you a little bit?
Yeah, I'm kind of just seeing where the season takes me. If it happens, it happens, but I I would do whatever.
That's great. That's great. And let's jump into baseball here because obviously you don't rest, dude. I mean, you are a three-sport athlete. You're busy during the summer. I think that speaks a lot about student athletes, especially the college recruiting process, when they look at kids who play multiple sports, who are leaders in multiple sports, who are successful in multiple sports. I think that says a lot about, who you are as a person, whether your peers or your coaches vote you as a leader and someone to kind of take that team into that season. Now, I know baseball, you didn't have as much success as you had in basketball. But again, a lot of the coverage that I saw on social media to Wilmington Public Access, and again, the kids that do all the videography and photography for you guys. I mean, you have a beautiful facility, beautiful batting cage. I love driving by there. Whenever it's nice out, people are always using that. I mean, talk about, baseball a little bit and obviously the facilities that you play in. I mean, it's better than most high schools I've seen, anyways.
Yeah, it's nice, but the only thing our field gets rained out a lot. So
It's
when
like a
there's
swamp.
rain,
Okay.
yeah, so we normally have to practice in the gym, which it's all right. We have a net that comes down and we can do T work in there and soft toss and stuff like that and be able to throw. It's hard. We struggled with that in the beginning of the season because we were inside a lot. So we weren't being able to throw like full distances, get a whole like field. But I don't know, baseball just didn't gel like basketball did. So hoping it does this year. It's gonna be tough because we lost our best player. That was like the heart and soul of the team, but we're gonna do everything we can to have a good season.
What do you play positionally?
Uh Anywhere, outfield, pitch, infield, like wherever the coach needs me to play.
Starting or middle reliever, closer type pitcher or whatever.
Starter,
Okay. Okay. What do you throw? Like fastball? What's your number two?
fastball, curveball mainly.
Curveball.
I try
Okay.
and work a changeup in, but fastball, curveball.
That's great. Yeah, Wilmington, it's just the water table. I mean, even where it doesn't rain out at all, but then when it rains, I hear my pumps going downstairs. I'm like, how is this possible? It hasn't rained in like 3, 4 months. Um, I'm going to ask you this question because I'm sure you know a lot of kids, and depending on, who we have on here, the guests, there's always that kind of, in Wilmington, at least that I've seen, is, kids who stay in Wilmington and play at Wilmington High School, athletes their entire life versus going to another school. I mean, for you, talk about being an athlete who's played in town, who's, played through youth, has played with these guys, you've known these kids, um, and you stayed and you've had a lot of success. I mean, talk about playing for your hometown and being able to have the golf team be a part of the golf team making the playoffs for the first time since 2017, or the basketball season having a winning season for the first time in a long time and qualifying for states. I mean, talk about being a part of that and having that torch that you're eventually going to hand on to the next athletes who come in.
It's a good feeling. And the bond between me and all my other teammates is great, which has been building up since we've been like basketball since third grade, baseball, same age. It's the same people. I even get some friends that I play golf, basketball, and baseball with or see all season. So the bond's definitely there between like with all three sports. And yeah, it's just fun to go to practice and know that all your friends are going to be there, and it's just yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's nice. Um, for you, I mean, obviously you've had a lot of success and you play sports year round. You're busy, busy, busy. Who are you a little bit outside of sports? Like, what are some hobbies? What are some things that you like to do outside of just golfing, basketball, baseball? Who are you a little bit outside of that?
I mean, I really don't do much else when I hang out with my friends outside of school or sports. It's mainly like golfing or just go and eat. It's not really, there's not much else that we do.
Yeah. Athletically, athlete wise, in any of the sports, is there an athlete, like professional athlete, you kind of look at, you maybe base your game around, or you feel like your game's similar to, or somebody who you just kind of enjoy watching in sports and try to maybe emulate it all?
For golf, definitely Bryson.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, he just hits the ball far. I'm not there yet, but it's fun to watch. Basketball, uh, I don't know. I don't really know names in basketball, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, is your dad like a golfer, hooper? Did he play anything? I was
Oh,
gonna ask you when the first time you actually maybe faced him and stuff and started really beating him for like real, right? Like he let you win for a long time, I'm sure, but eventually
yeah.
at some point you started beating him. Do you remember maybe when that happened?
Yeah. Well, it was baseball. Like I would pitch, and then he would like I'd go on one side of my yard, he'd go on the other side, and he'd sit on a recycling bin with his glove, and I would pitch to him, and then eventually he's like, it's getting a little fast, and I wasn't very accurate, so I was like spiking it and throwing it all over, hitting the
Right,
fence,
right.
bouncing around him. So he was just like, it's getting a little fast, and then just haven't had time to play it, but he also can't really throw anymore.
There you go, right? I mean, I talk to athletes about that all the time because I remember like all the times my dad, sometimes he let me win, you know that. But then you got to a point that you really started to kind of beat him. He's trying as best as he can and so on. Obviously, a good athlete that you are. I could see that happening maybe at like a younger age. For you, like school next year, I mean, obviously you're beginning a senior year. Is there something you're interested in going to school for? Is there a focus that you might have yet? Or are you kind of undecided in that area?
Yeah, I'm looking to study finance.
Okay.
That stuff just interests me.
So that's the whole why you like math thing and math's your favorite subject probably
Yeah.
in a sense. Okay. That's great. Um, for you, what's your biggest goal? I mean, obviously you got a couple seasons ahead of you. What are some goals that you either have individually as an athlete or some goals that you might have as far as team goes? I know obviously winning championships and things like that, those are goals you have for as a team, but is there any other goals that you kind of have or things that you hope kind of fall into place a little bit?
Um, for baseball, a goal I've always had is to hit a home run. Never got that. Um, I just think that'd be pretty cool, especially if it was my senior year. Basketball, I mean, all it really is to win the state championship, make it a playoff, all that stuff. And golf, we just want to win. That's really it.
In golf, you ever eagle?
No, I
Uh,
that's always That's always a thing. Me and my friends talk about it every day. Every person on my team is Eagle except for me.
Oh,
All my friends, like one of my friends, um, we had a match, then we had another match, and he eagled in both the matches. We have these two brothers on the team, and they both hold out like multiple times during the season and eagled. One kid has like three eagles this season, so I mean, I can't do it. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
you will, man. You'll do it at the right time, the most important time
Yeah,
when your
hopefully.
team needs it, right? That's what you got to keep saying to yourself.
Yeah.
And then in hoop, I know you mentioned you're obviously a defensive player, but for you, hitting a game-winning shot in front of a big crowd or denying someone at the rim, which you kind of sort of did or had a big play, what's a bigger adrenaline rush for you?
Sorry, what was that?
So, like scoring a game-winning bucket or having a game-winning block for you, what's like a bigger adrenaline rush? What would you rather have in a game in front of a big crowd?
Um, Definitely the defensive stop.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everyone wants to hit that game-winning shot, but that game-winning shot couldn't come without the defensive stop. Like taking a charge or just getting up in their face and stripping the ball from them. I feel like that just gives you way more adrenaline.
Now, my son and your brother are on the same soccer team, 6-year-olds, Milo. Now, Milo is an Anthony combined of a soccer player. They're both interested. They're both constantly looking over the sideline and chatting. Is it cool to kind of have younger siblings? I know you have a couple younger siblings, but for them to kind of see the success of Big Brother here a little bit and playing sports, and do you take pride in that? Do you like, is it cool for them to look up to you and want to be like you?
Yeah, I can definitely see it in my little sister the most.
Yeah,
She always says it. She always is at my games.
yeah.
It's just it's a good feeling knowing that people like are looking up to you.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're excited for you this season. I think you are a standout athlete here in Wilmington, and we cover a lot of athletes and try to focus on a lot of athletes here. And you're somebody that we're definitely going to keep an eye on over the next couple seasons ahead. And hopefully, Beyond can get to a basketball game this year. We're hoping that we can get into Wilmington and cover you guys. You guys have tremendous coverage with Wilmington Public Access, but we love to sneak in there and try to highlight you guys and show you off on a state level a little bit as well. So, I'm
Yeah,
excited for you this season, and we mean it. Anything we can do for you, any stats or anything you want to send us as far as golf goes over the next week and your playoff run, hoops, any video or any highlight that you have that you want us to send to us and for us to show off, we love to do that stuff. We love showcasing athletes everywhere, and athletes send us stuff all the time, dude. So you are more than welcome to do the same exact thing. And we wish you the best luck going forward. And if there's anything you need from us at all to help you, if college is just, sports is something you decide that is an interest to you, anything we can do to kind of help that. We've been able to do a lot just with this podcast and sending coaches and programs kind of a piece of hearing from a player that they wouldn't necessarily get watching a game and so on. But anything we can do for you, man, we would love to do that.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, check them out this season. Okay. Roman Synott, senior, captain of golf, Wilmington High School, captain of basketball, Wilmington High School, captain of baseball, three-star athlete. We love it. And again, guys, I mentioned at the top of this, we're going to be taping our 200th episode live in studio, AOA Studios in Beverly, next Saturday, 7 o'clock. We do have a pretty big audience coming in live, people sending questions. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So check out a few more things on social media we post the next couple days about that event and join us. It should be a lot of fun. But thank you, Roman, for coming on here today. I'm your host, Anthony Petrellis. Till next time.